Boom shakalaka, what's going on everybody? Today's episode, I am going to be interviewing Craig Simpson, the creator of Radiant Creators, an awesome podcast where they talk about all types of stuff. But I'm not interviewing him just because he has an awesome podcast. I'm actually interviewing him because he got me into Japanese Candlestick Charting Techniques. Badass way of looking at trading. And so I wanted to pick his brain on that, what he's been doing with trading. And also, he has all these really cool guests on his program. I'll put a link to it down in the description. And they talk about all this awesome stuff, and I just love talking with him. So, in today's episode, me and him, we're going to be chatting about trading, also about some stuff with his channel. And the best part is, before we actually started the video, we had like a pretty insane fun talk that I'm going to save to the end of this video as a little bonus for you guys who stick around until the end. So, enjoy today's video. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Boom shakalaka, what's going on everybody? Randall here from Crypto Love. Today I am joined by Cowboy Craig Simpson. What's going on, Craig?
Oh, well, it's morning here. I'm not usually at the office at 6 a.m., but I am today to talk to Crypto Love. So here we are, talk about, well, stuff. And this is exciting for me because this is the easy part. You know, I'm always the one interviewing people, and it's a pain in the ass, and it's stressful. But now, I don't have to do nothing except talk about myself, which is, well, you know, it's extraordinary.
Now, in case you guys didn't just notice how Craig just took over the interview, he's actually a very experienced interviewer. In case you guys haven't checked it out, Radiant Creators is the name of his podcast, and he has some awesome interviews. I mean, aside from interviewing myself and other cryptoers like Crypto Lark, he has some crazy people in there. They always go down like insane rabbit holes. So definitely check it out, especially if you're into like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just give people a brief overview of that recently. Like, what are some interviews that people should definitely check out on Radiant Creators?
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So Radiant Creators, you know, it's where we interview inspiring people to inspire others. That's the idea. We, you know, look at all the huge self-help section in the bookstore. And of course it does help people, but it seems like most people, if they could just get that jump start, that inspiration, you know, then they could do what they're meant to do, you know, what their purpose is. And so, you know, we're hoping to just give people the juice, basically, is the idea. Give them a little, you know, jump start into inspiration through people who are doing inspiring stuff, who are inspiring. So one, we'll definitely check out the Crypto Love interviews. They're fun, you know, and I think they got better. So, I mean, I started at the last one and watched that. But inspiring ones we've done, we did inspire, we did an interview and maybe inspire Les Stroud, and we just interviewed him recently a couple of days ago, and that was a good one. And what's fun about that is I know the guy, and we talk about really how to get out of ruts, you know, how to struggle, you know, how to just keep showing up for life even though it punches you in the nuts. Just keep doing it, just wear it out, don't give up. And so he's people oftentimes think maybe it's been easy for him, but no, I mean, he's struggled, and he was at a poverty level even during some of the Survivor Man series. So those are both really inspiring. Those are good. And then we also interviewed Robert Young Pelton. He's known as like the adventurist, and he is like, if you think you're brave, you're not. Like, check this guy out. I cannot believe him. He just pretty much walks into the most disaster-ridden, dangerous places on earth with a camera and a video recorder, and he's been doing it for a long time. It's not new. I mean, he's an old hat at it, and he's written some good books on it. And like one of the points he brings up, it's not what you fear, it's not what you're afraid of that is what's going to kill you. You know, like we waste our time being afraid of things, and really, it's like Buckminster Fuller said, you know, we spend our whole lives worrying about, you know, disaster and bad things happening, but the bad things that happen to us in life usually sideswipe us and we never saw coming. So Robert Young Pelton is a badass at really just being a badass. I mean, being tough and living life in a way that is becoming of an individual with integrity, who wants to go out there and seize it. And it's a great interview to get over any kind of, I don't know, being flaccid in life that you have. I think if you listen to, Crypto Love, that's a good one,
Yeah.
and Robert Young Pelton and Les Stroud, all those are great. All the interviews are great, but those are some good introductories into what's
Yeah,
going on there.
those are some great points. Like I like this stuff. How this stuff that you fear isn't what's going to kill you, because that's usually
No.
true. I mean, most people don't really fear like diabetes and heart disease, but that's what gets them.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also what you were saying with Les Stroud about being able, like learning how to suffer. Because like I see so often in my own life where I'm just all these painful things and all this suffering, I'm always trying to run away from it to get out from it, but actually just being able to be there with it, and then it kind of disappears.
The idea of never giving up, where he is saying how people will often say, well, I tried to be motivated and keep at it, and it didn't work. It's bullshit. And he's like, well, did you really try? And when it comes down to it, until you never give up, you haven't tried.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So you have to just basically never give up, and the answer to every hardship is try harder, which, I mean, it pisses everybody off. I don't want to hear that, but it's true. So when you start going like, oh, I'm kind of down, I'm depressed, I'm a nobody, I can't do it. Oh, you look in the mirror, you can think about these people. Think about Les Stroud, think about Robert Young Pelton, think about Crypto Love, and they're all there in the mirror saying, stop being a pussy. And you go, oh, God damn it. All right. So for one thing, it gives you people to live up to. People don't have that. I think it's good to have, I would say heroes is kind of a weird word, right? But just people who've achieved something, who you can have a dialogue with them. You really can. They're there, and just think about some of the things they said.
I like one part that touches me even more is like when you actually get to interact with these people and meet these people, and you realize they're just people. Like I like before I was a YouTuber, I looked up to some YouTubers and I met them in person. I was so starstruck. I was like, ah. And then like now I know them, I interact with them regularly, and it's like they're just people. And then I interview people on a channel all the time who are billionaires, and they're like such nice, warm, genuine people. And it's just like all these people that we idolize, it's like we're just people, but like some people are willing to go through more stuff.
Oh yeah, especially when you find out that you're happier than they are, which is kind of interesting. Because you'll be talking to them, and I mean, they'll be like, oh, I have a toothache, but I'm gonna like rough it out. I won't let you know. I'm gonna be stoic. They have like a little bit of andesol, and they're like, they're gonna go to the dentist afterwards. Because they like cracked a tooth last night, whatever, and then. They're yelling at their dog, stop barking, and then it poops, and they go, oh, God damn it. So you just look at this, and you realize that they're absolutely human.
Yeah,
they're absolutely human. Everybody's having really kind of the same experience in some ways.
Yep, 100%.
Our dogs poop in the house and we get toothaches.
Yeah, there's that saying, don't kick the cat, because yeah. Well, anyways, so everybody who's watching obviously is into crypto, and they're like, damn it, Randall, it's already been 10 minutes and you haven't talked about crypto yet. So the reason why I wanted to have you on is because you've been trading a lot recently. Actually, the last time that we had an interview, you actually got me one of the best books I've read on candlestick charting, Japanese Candlestick Charting. So I wanted to ask you, like, what have you been up to with trading, and like, what's your trading journey? Because I mean, you're doing this.
Yeah, well, the Japanese Candlestick book is amazing, and that's it's huge if you get it. It's a huge book. You can get it in Kindle, but if you get the book, it's huge. And a person can actually just go to like there's an appendix or there's one part of it where he just has a picture of all the candlesticks, the different ones, and if you just read that, which would take like an hour if you were really kind of staring at it, that's all you got to do. And you'll be, a better trader. And so for one thing, I've been learning about trading, the last like probably 2 years of doing it, probably 1 year seriously, but really 2 years, a little over 2 years really, is there's no easy method. There's no secret algorithm that somebody's selling or some, bullshit psychic. Oh my God, leading people off of a cliff, telling people to buy things that are trending down, all this nonsense. So, for me, I'm getting over a little bit of burnout because I just did my 2018 taxes. I did an extension
Mm.
and I just did them. And there's some form, something, whatever, I forget what it's called. But luckily there's software. There's ways you kind of automate your crypto taxes and such. And it was 122 pages of trades, like one line each. And so I was like, oh my God, in a year I did 122. And so that's a lot of, scalping, a lot of alt scalping. And I'm all about an alt making money and staying in it, staying above Bitcoin. But, you know, it's funny right now, I think after over a year of aggressive trading to, try to make a living at crypto, now I'm starting to kind of slow down a little bit and do really just hodl your Bitcoin. Really, because it was kind of disgusting when you look at all the effort you put into trading, like 122 pages worth of trades, and then you realize, well, I made as much just dollar cost averaging Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
And you start going like, man, that's so you learn a lot. But the nice thing about trading is that, and why I think it's a bit of a peaceful revolution, is that people are learning about how the world works. I look at the S&P 500 now, the Russell 2000 index, different forex currencies. How's the dollar doing against the yuan and all this stuff. So, and then you start learning how banks work and how the Fed works, and you start learning about a lot of things, and you become a lot wiser to the world. You see the world a lot more clearly and such. So, but for me, my trading methodology right now is I'm still doing alts, but I'm much more careful about it. I really wait for perfect setups, and then I'll hop in. And if it doesn't get in the green right away and I can set a stop loss, then I dump it. So I'm pretty much, you got to be a perfect setup and just start riding, and then I'll do a trailing take profit and just let it go. And everyone hopes to get those like 30, 50, 100% gains doing that. And, but I only do that maybe a few times a week, if that. And so right now I just try harder to have a few really good trades rather than feeling like I have to be trading all the time. And that'll really burn a person out. Like, I've learned, don't trade until you can be 100% into it at that time. So if you don't have like a 2-hour or a 4-hour block of time to be 100% into alt trading, and then when you're done, either be in profit and have your take profit, trailing take profit set, or have dumped it. That's kind of my thing now. It's so, and also that has to do with the market. What kind of mood is Bitcoin in? Like right now, Bitcoin's a pain in the ass because it's flat and it's dumpy. And so that just kills all your alt trades if you're in there. You know what I mean? And even with something like 3 commas, if it dumps fast, 3 commas doesn't catch it in time a lot of times with your alts. So when Bitcoin's in a good mood, I'll spend a couple hours a day, a few days a week, and get some alt money. It's taken a lot of time to be able to consistently make money rather than lose. And I still, sometimes trade more than I lose. I just get out if it doesn't go the way I want it to right away, or I think it's going to go. But yeah, it's true. Crypto Love talks about MACD trading on the daily on Bitcoin, and just dollar cost averaging Bitcoin, and then taking a percentage of my Bitcoin and trading out when the MACD goes positive and negative. It makes me more money than anything else.
It's a pretty crazy strategy, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's life doesn't have to be a struggle, and neither does trading. It really doesn't. So, after almost 2 years of beating my head against the wall and really, really burning out for a while, like I burn out and just haven't been trading much the last couple of weeks, taking a little break. Now I find that all my struggle, it's tough. Isn't that funny how like you beat your head against something and then you go, God dang, I didn't have to do that. It was so much easier,
Exactly.
But if you didn't struggle, if I wasn't willing to struggle and burn myself out, I wouldn't have gotten to the other side now where it's beginning to get easier, where it doesn't seem like an insane way to make a living.
Cool. So I like what you say there about trading less because I remember Warren Buffett talking about something like that, where like he was saying where with traders, if they only got like 20 trades in their lifetime, they would spend a lot more time trying to figure out the good trades to do, the good setups and stuff like that. So I wanted to ask you, like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, what does it mean to you? Why did you, are you like an anarchist, a libertarian, a speculator? Like, where do you fall in it? Why did you get in, and what's it mean to you? Because you're a pretty out there, groovy dude. So I want to know, like, why Bitcoin? Why crypto? I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
There we go. I worked in IT for like 23 years, and I guess I still do technology stuff, but I had a lot of, you might say, guilt. Like I knew I was supporting evil, and a person can find me. I'm on LinkedIn. You can see places I've worked. I'm not going to name them, but I supported evil. I did, and I felt bad about it. And I think that if you start to, I use that new agey term, wake up, maybe become more aware. If you're on that path of self-awareness, that humble path of wisdom, you just start going, man, I can't do this and think that my life is going to work. So anyway, I did start trading crypto. I got interested in Bitcoin. I mean, like a lot of people, I didn't know what it was for a long time. Thought it was a scam, wasn't sure, let the power goes out, all that stuff. But started to, buy Bitcoin and just dollar cost average it. And then before I knew it, I was, trading alts to make, more money, to make more Bitcoin basically. And to me, it became pretty clear that I could make a living doing that. Even though it wouldn't be easy. And a lot of people will try to terrify you. They'll say that 97% of, or like 90% or 95% of traders lose money and fail. And I'm still looking for hooks into that. Like, where's that number come from? Because I don't buy it. It's just me. I don't. I think, well, yeah, everybody loses money. I mean, everybody has trades that don't go right. But does that mean that you lose money overall over the course of a year, et cetera? I mean, does it mean that you're not making a living? I mean, I don't quite, or making some money, whatever your goal is. So I think that what I like is, to me, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency really is the peaceful revolution. That's what I call it. It really is because, we have the globalist banks and governments, governments, globalists, however you look at it. I think our world's changing right now. I think that a lot of the old control structures are starting to lose power. And they don't like it. I mean, just look at the media. Like, I never watch the mainstream news or anything like that. But when I take my chihuahuas for a walk in the evening in Scottsdale, as I look around, in every single window, you see the big TV and you see CNN or MSNBC or Fox, usually CNN. And I'm like, it's actually painful to even see that crap. And so the world, in a good way, is falling apart. I know it sounds odd. Maybe I'm a bit of an anarchist at heart, but I feel that if there is progress, if there is evolution for humanity, if there is, I think one of the things we have to get over is governments. Everybody wants to basically, like, especially when I look at some political causes, I won't say what they are, but I'll say some political causes. It's like you have all these people trying to give the bully on the playground their lunch money to go beat somebody up they don't like, and so our politics is just retarded. I mean, and the people who are into it are just kind of dumb. And so I look at it like we need to just get over governments. And I think that there's no better way, if you want to, than just do cryptocurrency. It's funny, if you'd like to make the world a better place, you can go out and protest if you want. I think it's dumb. Just personally, that's Craig Simpson's opinion. I don't think it does a damn thing. I think it just puts you on a facial recognition database, and now they know you're a pain in the ass. And depending on what, authoritarian regime comes to power, you might be exalted or put in a gulag. It's just a waste of your time.
They also use your cell phone tracking to figure out
Yes.
who's at political things. Yeah.
Yeah, and they know your friends and all that kind of stuff. So it's one of those things where I think that how we live is changing. I think that control structures around the world are starting to fail a little bit, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And I had a real desire to be a part of something good. I mean, I think it's kind of like a dream come true. It's that, like, don't worry about so much the towers that are falling. right now in the world, just kind of go, yeah, badass. So I love watching it, and then just realize once it collapses, then you can like look at all this groovy rubble and you can start making something new out of it. So it's a tough time because we have to let go of a lot of what we thought was important, what we thought mattered. And it still can, but like one thing I've had a hard time with is, and I hesitate to say it, but it's like letting go of America, for instance. This place is changing. And I'm somebody who probably most of my life has been far right of Ted Nugent and Genghis Khan. I'm like, that's just my nature, right? But I look at it and go, people don't think that way anymore. That's not really our future. I don't know what it is, but it's not going to be the way I would like it to be. And so, for me, crypto is a great way to do something that I believe is completely good. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's as completely good as you can be. So, I mean, to me, one of the most powerful acts I can do to help empower the creative, amazing change that I think is going to like knock over world governments and it's going to make this world a better place, or at least I'm going to have fun trying, is just dollar cost average Bitcoin. I know it sounds odd, but you can go out. I mean, fine. If somebody wants to go protest with Extinction Revolution or whatever, have at it. It's cool. Do it. But I would say you'll do more for the world if you dollar cost average Bitcoin for real, because it's great to have a lot of passion and desire, but you also have to put foot to your prayers and wipe sweat off your brow and try hard to gain wisdom and see the world clearly. So to me, I'm hanging out with all these amazing revolutionaries. Like, we've got, it's like crypto love is kind of like Thomas Paine. I like to think of myself as maybe John Adams. I don't know. But really, you can be a powerful, amazing part of the future right now by simply involving yourself in cryptocurrency, even if it's just dollar cost averaging Bitcoin, or if you want to start a crypto related, business. This is where it's at. I mean, like the Hong Kong protests, even how they were using some app on their phones, the decentralized communication app to communicate. There's just, and I think also it's a great way to be on the positive side, or in some way influence towards the positive technology, because to me in general technology is badass and it's good, but of course we'll have the forces that be that are evil that use it for their bullshit. All they can do is, it's kind of like somebody I know, he said about backed, people are like, it's going to pump or is it going to dump, and he goes, evil can only do one thing, it's going to dump. And so you look at it and you can be, rather than let the powers that be take our cryptocurrency and our decentralization and technology and just create beautiful things like 5G out of it and fry us and things like that. It's a great way to be, guide a positive evolution of technology. So see, I know it sounds odd, but for real, if a person wants to do something really, 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 really great, from like get rid of 5G to, save the dolphins and, whatever your version of climate change is, whether it exists or not, whatever causes it, make the planet a healthier place, just buy Bitcoin. I know it sounds overly simplistic, but it's true. It's really true.
Yeah. And I also like what you say there about one of the best ways to change the government is to take away their money, which is big too. Bitcoin's the first real non-sovereign currency. And look at how scared governments are of it. You were talking about politics and governments, and one of the things that's always frustrated me about that. So, like, I like Gandhi, how he said, like, be the change you want to see in the world, and where like change basically starts with yourself. The one thing that frustrates the hell out of me with governments and politicians is they're always preaching all this stuff, giving you all these, like making all these laws that you have to follow, but they're the most corrupt individuals ever. And it's like, how about we have some leaders that are actually like people we might want to follow, like people we would aspire to be to, and then follow them.
Oh yeah, rather than just fight with wedge issues that you can't really win. That are just, it's so obvious that people are being played. I mean, Well, what I like about one thing about crypto what you said reminds me of is, I do not endorse joining the military, people, but huge disclaimer, kids, don't. Just move to San Francisco, party, go hang out with Crypto Love over whatever country he's in at the moment, just whatever. See the world, do a lot of things. Don't join the military. It's not about me being patriotic or not. Just don't. Don't become sprayed hamburger across the battlefield for evil people. You're not fighting for freedom. You're fighting for bullshit. So just get it straight, people. So for me, as a veteran who joined the military when I was a kid and was in like for 5 years, and of course, the world was peaceful. Then it was like Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Then I'm like in friggin' Somalia and Bosnia and all this crap. Everything went wrong. I'm not into war. It's not cool. And I think if you want to stop war, well, fine. You can believe that voting will do that. That's naive. I'll be honest with you. I hate to make statements like that because I know it triggers people. They kind of get, fine, vote for whatever you want.
If they think the election system actually works, I would hope they don't watch my channel because it's like the most rigged system ever. It's been hacked numerous times at DevCon in LA. They've hacked every single voting system. It doesn't work. Trump's election, Bush's election, both times it was hacked. Like, if anybody thinks it still works. I believe it. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so I look at it, and sound money is the last thing that governments want. Because when you have sound money, which is ultimately, I would just say, money based on scarcity, whether it's gold or whether it's Bitcoin, ultimately sound money. It's not fiat. Governments can't print it. They can't play games. And now I know that for some people that's very terrifying. They go, well, wait a second. What about, all this free shit, right? Well, that's the way it goes, Sometimes having a healthy body is a little bit of suffering. You have to go to the gym, maybe, intermittent fast. You got to whatever, sometimes you got to take a shower, whatever. It's, being healthy is work. So a healthy economy, a healthy country is work. So ultimately, yeah, sound money, less free shit. But at the same time, it stops wars. Basically governments need to print money to have wars.
Dude, that's how the economies do so well. Like, that's why the U.S. was doing so well after World War II. And that's why, yeah. Okay, so enough political talk, because I don't really care too much for politics. One of the things I really like about you is like how you're into like groovy, like woo-woo stuff. Okay, now, I myself have just gotten into a couple things. One, like a pretty significant detox with the detox dudes. Also, this other thing called transurfing. But I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about you, Mr. Simpson. So, what out there things have you heard of, have you explored, have you done recently that you really find interesting or have made an impact in your life? Anything?
Well, one that's kind of maybe obvious is just rating creators itself. The idea is, like I say, interviewing, inspiring people to inspire others. And all of us should do something that we should all be working on ourselves in some way, whatever it is, and that changes all the time. But for me, it's really been quite a path because, like, for one thing, doing a podcast, you have to be out there, like people know your name, they know who you are, they see your face. And a lot of people are very timid. They go, oh, I want to hide, I don't want to. And well, you can't. If you want to if you want to interview people, you're going to have to, you have to interview them, and video tends to be better than just audio. Even though most people just listen, still video does better. So you're going to have to be out there. And then also, like, I actually do voice coaching. I actually have a really talented, amazing voice coach, because expressing yourself, verbally is difficult. So I have to, practice. I quite literally, I practice at it. And then when you're doing your interviews and you're talking to people, you listen to it. That's painful. I don't know if it is for you, but for me, I'd rather just like, oh my God, it's awful. It's just one of the most humiliating, awful things in the world. But you know what? You got to do it. And if you want to get better, you got to listen to yourself and then take note of that and keep improving. So I think that wherever a person's passion lies, and that's tough, they got to find it. Find something that interests you, and that's why you're here, and then do it. And ultimately, you're going to find that it opens, so many doors and makes you think about a lot of stuff. Like something like you were saying is that you meet the people that you interview. So we have found a much larger circle of friends who we, talk to every day that we're, familiar with now. And that really kind of begins to, change your life quite a bit. And so I guess a big out there one for me is just doing something that I like. And then also, wow, here's one. It's like when you start to do something that you like, let's say a podcast, for instance, or a YouTube channel, how do you define success? That's when I've had to think about, well, what is success? Is it just views? Is it interaction? Is it making money? What is success? Why are you doing what you're doing? Because one thing I can say, and I'm sure you've been through it also, is any romantic delusions you have about, doing, like doing what you're doing and doing what I'm doing, the trolls will just knock right out of your system, right? I mean, so you have to, it comes down to, why are you doing it? Because I'm not getting rich doing it. And eventually you get a lot of traffic, so you've got that, and you keep getting more traffic. I mean, eventually you have to come down to, why are you doing it? And it's a great question. Why do I do what I love to do? Is there some reason for it? And if you can't define success in some way and find it in what you're doing, then you burn out and you lose interest. So that's one. And then also a huge one for me has been like living life as a brand. Like Crypto Love is a brand, Randall is a brand, and so that's actually, at first it pissed me off because it kind of kept me in this container. Like Radiant Creators is a bit of a container. We really don't talk about anything political. We do our darndest not to. It's really about extracting information from people, extracting inspiration really more than information. And so we have to keep within a certain, foundation. And I found that my own personal social media desire went away. I don't have any desire there to be a Craig in social media. Just Radiant Creators is good enough. But so you start to, live as a brand, which kind of comes down to, well, who are you? What's your mission? What are you about? Why are you doing this? So gosh, like Radiant Creators has been a lot of define success and why are you here? And it's a pain, but you keep at it, So it's been a wonderful, enlightening struggle. So this has been kind of my out there experience for a couple, years now. I mean, it's amazing. That's the funny thing is I look back and I go, oh my gosh, I've been doing this for years. I've been doing it for years and still doing it. And so that's one for sure. But and then out there, just a whole, crypto as a peaceful revolution is out there for me. I like that. But wow, as far as really woo-woo, crazy spiritual stuff, well, something for me I find is, and it's one of the reasons I like going to Sedona, even though that probably sounds pretty out there, is going to Sedona and meditating in the vortex. There's a couple that I like, and a couple huge washes that come down, flash flood plains. You can lay there and you can feel this beautiful energy, and it does something to you where it gets rid of all the craziness of the world. Everything starts to make sense, and you're just centered, present, and you're just radiating. It's really amazing. So to me, actually, I've been spending more time up in Sedona, getting up there and actually just drive up there in the morning and meditate in the vortex and be there and just walk around do some hiking. Mm-hmm. Because something I'm finding is like, yeah, I mean, I can be pretty out there spiritually, pretty out there in general. I mean, one can just listen to the, many people that we've interviewed. I mean, I'm pretty out there, but you have to be grounded here to be out there. So that's one thing I've learned recently is, for me, is there's not going to be any real spiritual growth or, groovy experiences in life, like the magic people might want. It doesn't exist if you're too out there. It's weird. You ever have that balance where like you're really, really out there? You're like, whoa, I'm really out there. But at the same time, I'm really, really grounded. It's almost like you can't really have that spiritual experience outside of your body. Well, I mean, sometimes, but I guess I'd ask you that maybe, because yeah, I mean, that's a tough one, because my just general existence is pretty damn amazing. Just me walking down the street and just witnessing the world. I think I more and more I see the sweetness of the world. I see the insanity, the craziness. It's getting crazier out there. The Joker is right, but at the same time, I have this deep appreciation of the world. Like there was a little old lady who was, like here in Scottsdale, we have lots of old people. It's one of the Scottsdale things. So this little old lady just goes walking across the crosswalk, and it's red, but she doesn't know. A lot of them kind of live by muscle memory, so she knows she's going that way, and that's it. And this young guy looks around real quick and runs out there and just says, like, just kind of gives her a nod, walking next to her. And what he was doing was he's looking at, he was making sure she was okay in the crosswalk. And I was like, I'm like over there crying, like, "Ah," you know, just that life is so insanely sweet. Like, how could anyone ever be cynical? If you, so that's one of the groovy things I'm going through is that, you know, I'm getting over being cynical when it comes to life because it's just, it's so damn beautiful if you go out and walk around, take an interest in it. You know, how do you balance being a physical person and being an out there person? Do you find you got to be grounded here to be able to have a greater experience out there?
I mean, for me, I need to do like my morning routine. Like every morning for 2 or 3 hours, I do meditation. I do Wim Hof breathing, cold showers. I mean, like it's like a whole routine. If I don't do that, I'm lost. Like that's my rock every day. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to do Wim Hof breathing, but it's hard. It's one of my struggles. Is like I can do, you know, we're gonna do my qigong in the morning. You know, gonna do that. Got to feel good. But yeah, the Wim Hof breathing. That's like that is my great struggle. That for me is like an emotional thing because like I think some of my shit I have to work on comes down to breathing, and same with the expression. You know, talking, and so I might be working on expression and radiant creators, but at the same time breathing. I mean, seriously, the hardest thing I do all day is if I do Wim Hof breathing. I don't know how, that is my challenge. I mean, that's like,
Oh,
you
man.
know, God, I'm like a friggin' soap opera.
Well, different strokes for different folks. So this has been good. Anybody who wants to, where can they find Radiant Creators? Where can they find more of your information?
Well, of course, there is radiantcreators.com and all the information is there. If you're on Google, not Google, yeah, if you're in Google, just search Radiant Creators. Crap tons of stuff will come up. But you know, YouTube, just search for Radiant Creators, you'll find us. Or just go to radiantcreators.com. You can link to all the social media there, and that's what we're doing. I mean, that's me. That's me, Radiant Creators, Craig.
That's awesome. Like I love every time we have a talk because I feel like we could talk for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Yeah, it's always a bunch of fun. But
Oh, it's great.
we're going to cut it off right there this time, and then we'll have you back again in the future. We'll talk some more trading to appease the crypto people, and then we'll talk other stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds great. Well, I hope you take that beginning spot and put it at the end or just leave it. That was great stuff.
That's what we're going to do. So everybody who stayed around this long, you're going to get some bonus content. You're going to get the pre-footage. This is what Craig and I were just talking about before the thing started. You're going to get all that bonus stuff for free, so stay tuned for that.
Because it was so great and we love you so much. We didn't want to cheat you.
Yeah, but guys, make sure you check out Radiant Creators. It's awesome. I love everything he does. He's one of the best interviewers. I mean, I've been interviewed a few times, and I love being interviewed by him because it's just like he really puts time and energy into his questions, and it makes a lot of difference. So cool. Thank you very much, Craig. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yo, what's up, dude?
Hey. Oh, it is good. Let's see. Now we do this part. Can you hear me?
What?
I can hear you. I can see you.
Dude, awesome.
Yeah.
Early in the morning by you, huh?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm up. Like, I'm already up a long time ago every day, but I'm not here. I'm not I'm not at my little office. You know. So it's good. This is good. I should actually drag my ass here in the mornings earlier.
That's awesome. And you're somewhere like in Arizona, yeah?
Yeah, I'm in Scottsdale, Arizona, and that's the it's basically eastern Phoenix, the east side of Phoenix. It's the absolute epicenter of the Sonoran Desert. So pretty much, I live right where the gates of hell actually open, and the blast furnace unleashes on the world. It's actually hotter than the surface of the sun here. The only place on Earth.
That's crazy.
It's
Yeah,
so hot.
sometimes I fantasize about like living in Sedona. I had a really good time there.
Yeah, well, we go to Sedona pretty regularly. I mean, from Scottsdale, it's just an hour and like 20 minutes or so, and it's just up the road. You're kind of driving through a lot of nowhere to get there, and it's pretty beautiful. So the drive is beautiful. So we can get up real early, go there, go in eat a bunch of raw chocolate in a vortex and sit back and, it's magical. I mean, all the hippie bullshit aside and all the,
All the
you know,
woo woo aside.
yeah, all that dark cloud of angel wings and uptight friggin' hippies full of shit people. Oh my God, baby boomers want to be hippies again with their gray ponytails and all that bullshit. Like, it's a magical place. It's funny. You have so many irreverent people, with zero sacredness in their soul whatsoever, who stomp around on it. And if you look at like Taos, New Mexico, all the irreverent people kind of destroy the energy of the land. But if you go to Sedona, the land is like, the land is tough. It doesn't care. The land just stays powerful. The vortex is the energy there. It's still a teaching place. I mean, we go there to escape the noise of the world, because you can go there and lay in a vortex where the washes come down, where it flash floods, where it's been doing it for a million years. If you just lay there, you can feel the energy cruising down the vortex, and you can just chill, and you can really reconnect. It helps to it cleanses the insanity out of your mind and body. It's a magical place. I mean, like to live there or on the outskirts. It's you get all
Mhm.
four seasons. You have that's my goal. So I hope you move there. We can just
Yeah. There was, I forget the name of the Cottonwood. My
yeah,
friend had
Cottonwood.
Cottonwood, and I was staying there, and I was going to a Sedona method course in Sedona. It was magical.
Yeah, that's the way to do it. Yeah, Cottonwood's where it's at. Cottonwood's kind of up and coming because Sedona's cool. I do like it, but Cottonwood's just down the street, and you could own a ranch there and have some, alpacas and a micro donkey and chickens, and you can, you know,
I've never heard of a micro donkey.
yeah, you can get a micro drunk, as they call a little micro donkey, you know. hmm
Dude,
And then when
awesome.
there's like weird parades and such, you can just have your two micro donkeys pulling your little magical sled, and you can sit there.
Like it. I know. I just hear like the Christmas song, like chingity ching hee haw hee haw. It's down in the
Yeah,
micro donkey. Ching.
yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, you definitely can do it.
Cool.
So no, it's that's probably I like Arizona, and I like it. Scottsdale's okay, Phoenix, and it's just a city, but yeah, up north is where it's at. That's eventually kind of like the direction to go. I would like to be in. I'd like to live in Cottonwood or somewhere around there. You
Mm-hmm.
know.
Dude, maybe we'll just start a commune up there.
Oh heck yeah, crypto commune.
Mm-hmm.
The
Crypto commune.
Cottonwood commune.
Yeah.
There's like micro donkeys and alpacas running around, and there's
We
chickens.
microdose our micro donkeys.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Come and dose with the micro. Yeah, come and micro dose with the micro drunks. I know.
Actually, dude, you know what I want to do is, you know how they have like these legal, what are they called? Uh they have these like legal ayahuasca places you can go to, and legal mushroom places, like
hmm
the retreats. I want an MDMA retreat. I want to have
Mm.
a legal MDMA retreat in Cottonwood with micro donkeys and micro dosing and all this fun stuff.
If it becomes legal, it's definitely something to work on. And it can be, all organic, pasture raised food and everything like that. And people go
Mhm.
there and they're drinking the well water there. Well, really, the spring water in Sedona is supercharged. So oftentimes drive up there and fill up a bunch of big jugs of water and bring it back down, because the water there will get you high. Seriously, just the Sedona water, you'll be amped just
You
drinking
ever
that.
hear of Josh Mason,
No.
the detox dudes? So I'm doing his detox now. It is pretty insane. And like one of the big things is making sure you drink water. So here in Bulgaria, they have like amazing spring water from the mountains. And
hmm
it's like the water is so delicious. It's sweet. Like you actually drink it and it's
Yeah.
sweet. And yeah, that's awesome,
You
because I definitely gotta. If I didn't know they had springs in Sedona, but
Yeah, there's spring water.
oh,
And
perfect.
a lot of people think that the energy of the place comes from, there's an incredible crystal percentage, like underneath Sedona, it's all crystals.
Mm.
and so ultimately in the ground.
Mhm.
And you can see them in the rocks actually too. And so some people think that that's part of what creates the energy there. So coming up through there is the spring water. And so your spring water is sort of like, I mean, talk about new age crap, you know what I mean?
Yeah. If I ever
I
if
mean,
I ever move back to the States, that's where it's gonna be.
it's where it's at. Because if you live in Cottonwood or you live in Sedona, then you have all four seasons and it's kind of cool. If you live like literally in the Sonoran Desert, like where we're at, it's I like Arizona, but yeah, I definitely want to go that direction. Well, yeah, I like the idea of an MDA and what DMA and what do they call it?
Yeah.
I like to treat like that because I'm honestly too uptight and move around too fast, and I just can't deal with um, like I did LSD as a teenager and like young in my 20s, and I don't think I'm still put together for it. I'm just like, no, that shit's so intense. It was fun
Mm.
then, but now I'm like, no, that just would be like 14 hours of cartoon hell. I don't want to do that. Uh, I don't. No
Yeah.
thanks. I experienced it, and I think I got all I'm going to get from that. And then psilocybin is neat, but you know what? I'm just impatient, and I don't like to be have my perceptions dulled. And even though you might be like, oh, I'm on mushrooms and I can see the geometry of the universe and I can see the trees growing. Yeah, you're also still out of your freaking mind, right? You're not put together. You're not really ready for anything. And I think I'm just too intense. I
Yeah.
don't like being subdued at all. And so I would like to do the DH. No, I can't remember what it's called. DHA, MDMA, whatever.
Yeah.
Is it? Isn't it like 15 minutes and you're done?
No. MDMA is ecstasy. So you
Oh,
take
okay,
it
not
for
ecstasy.
hours.
Yeah, I want to do the other thing. The other thing. What do they call it?
I know which one you're talking. There's a couple of them. There's
The
one where you just freak out for like 10 seconds and then you're done. I don't think that's it. But yeah.
yeah, there's one. It's like 15 minutes. It's oh god, DMD what DEA, whatever the crap they call it. That one, and you just totally go like as far as you can into the like fabric of the universe. But then like in 15 minutes, like it's done. And I'm like, see, I like that. So pretty much, I would like hire a security force to surround me, right?
Yeah,
I'll hire
right?
Blackwater. I'll hire Blackwater to be like, all right, and then I'll just like lose it for 15 minutes. And then like no matter what, you're like, okay, I'm done. Okay, I have to be able to schedule my psychedelic experiences because I'm just too. I don't know. I'm too uptight. I can't waste the whole day.
I'm
Like,
the same way. But you know what the crazy thing is, even though it's only 15 minutes, it may feel like a lifetime or 10 lifetimes to you in the experience. And that stuff's just bad. But
yeah. I don't want to be like stuck with my like head up an angel's ass for like 30 years. And then people say, oh, it was just 15 minutes, but you spent,
yeah,
yeah. So even that. Well, I think that isn't the idea of all that is to eventually make this reality groovy. I'm always like, my reality that I live in is so far out anyway that it's almost like that stuff is just disorienting. It's not really fun. I mean,
you
I
ever
think
hear of trans-surfing?
no.
I just started reading it. Yeah, I'll send you
Trans-surfing.
trans-surfing. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's pretty out there, but it's pretty cool. Uh,
As long as it isn't like sexual trans-surfing.
yeah, straight out of Thailand.
Oh
Trans
God. Yeah. Hardly legal in Thailand. Definitely not in the rest of the world.
trans-surfing. Love it, lady boys. Yeah. Okay.
Oh
Well,
gosh.
we gotta get down to things. All right.
Yeah, okay.
Let's focus. Let's focus.
Yeah. You can leave. I don't care. This is all good. You can leave this in the interview if you want. I'm happy with it. It's
I know this
a
is
good
awesome.
place to start.
This is awesome.